walked through sunshine, we stood in rain. We've danced in joy and we've wept through pain. Through every valley, through every climb, a love eternal stands the test of time. Faith, fun, and forever love, built on grace and from above. There's storms that shake through skies that clear. His hand has held us year by year.
What's up, y'all? Y'all caught me doing some old school break dancing. Some of y'all remember this pop locking. Some of y'all remember them pop locking days. Hey, we are back by popular demand. Welcome to another Marriage Encounters. Spent the weekend in Indiana and I got someplace else to go this coming Thursday. Is that right? So I'm about to do a click. There's no place like home because I'm tired of being in planes. Some of y'all are thrilled about flying. I don't mind flying. I ain't got no problem with flying. I just got work to do at home. That's what I'm saying. I got things to do. All right. But anyway, hey, it's Marriage Mondays. And guess what? Whether you're joining us live or listening later on the podcast, we are honored that you are here with us, and we invite you to be a part of our day. My name is Bill Van. This is my lovely wife,
Michelle.
And we have been married for almost 36 years. So
almost.
I think we know a little something about this marriage stuff.
Yep. So we're helping couples build marriages rooted in faith, fun, and forever love. We spent this month talking about making space for each other. We've cleared the air. We've slowed down enough to really see one another. We've talked about bringing back warmth into our relationship. And today, we'd like to talk about something we believe marriages are missing. And sometimes it's even missing for us, which is why we're talking about it. It's the thing called rest. Not because couples don't love each other, but because we are tired. Yikes. I could use a nap right now. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sometimes even physically exhausted. It just depends on what you're doing and what season you're in. When we had smaller kids, we lived in the space of exhausted. Now it's a little bit different, but we can still be very exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Well, it's different because we're a little bit older now. a lot of bit older now, right? But hey, when you're exhausted, even wonderful people like myself can become impatient. Even somebody as wonderful as I am can become impatient. And even healthy marriages can be strained and drained, not because the love necessarily disappeared, but because the energy did. And your resistance is down. And when your resistance is down, I talked about being fatigued. And when you're fatigued, the enemy likes to come in with a lot of distractions. Right? And distractions, all they do is take you away from your purpose. And when you're fatigued mentally, emotionally, financially, in your relationship, it becomes an opportunity for distractions to set in. And sometimes there's voices that want to talk that you don't really need to be listening to. And when you're distracted, you'll begin to chime in and listen to what those voices are saying.
Well, and I think if you go back to what you said earlier, being tired and sometimes being short. When I'm tired, my attention, so you said I get distracted. I don't always hear the full conversation when I'm tired. I'm not always completely 100% listening to everything that is being said or everything that's being done. And so I can react in a way that may not be the most healthy when I am tired.
True. And sometimes you're acting out of emotion and not logic, or not really listening, because simply put, you're tired. Some people say they're overwhelmed. And so when somebody tells you, hey, listen, I'm overwhelmed, what do you think they're really saying?
Well, I think when we're talking about being overwhelmed, sometimes it's just that I've packed so much stuff in. I don't have any more space. When we think about like books, we think about when we look at a book, there's the white space around. right?
Mhm.
So there's all of the things that are on the page. There's all the words that are on the page, and you're reading all the words. And the reason why they have margins around them or they have space on the edges is so that your brain has a way to decompress from all the words.
And focus.
Yeah, and so sometimes I think that's how our lives are. When I think about the fact that sometimes we're writing all the way from edge to edge. We're doing things all the way from edge to edge of our pages, and we don't necessarily have margins, and we don't have that space to decompress and that space to get our heads clear. So every hour sometimes belongs to something or someone. Every weekend we're doing something. We have schedules. I think we are probably in the most scheduled society we've ever had. Little
Mhm.
kids have schedules like
Right,
that
right.
don't even make sense. Like
Right.
there's adults that'll say, "Oh, girl, I can't do this or that because my kids have all these things." You scheduled that crap. Them kids didn't sign up for that stuff.
Your kid is 6, bro.
Right. Like, why do they need a planner?
Yeah. They 6 years old. Come
You
on,
know,
man.
And so if we're not careful, then even the things like vacations that are supposed to provide us with
Fun
rest,
becomes scheduled.
yeah, and it
Regimented.
becomes that we've got this stuff that we've got to do. It feels like a project versus just being able to go and rest. And so somewhere along the way we stop believing that rest was a part of the design that we have. If we think about it, um the, when we look at Genesis, the world was created and it was formed. There was void, there was nothing, and then there was all of the things, and on the seventh day he rested.
Right.
But often we don't believe that we're supposed to have the same uh, rest that even Jesus had.
Well, because society and the systems teach us that every day should be all gas, no brakes until you hit the grave. But what's going to happen? You're going to hit the grave a lot sooner than what you planned.
Right.
So, I mean, I think, and I agree with you, even vacation seems like a push to the finish line. Have you ever just went somewhere and said, I ain't doing nothing?
Or how many people, so think about that. How many people schedule so much during their vacation? Oh, I got to go take these pictures. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that it's work.
Well, I think what you ought to do is if you have a 4-day vacation, plan 3 days and leave one day
Maybe
wide
plan
open.
2 days.
Yeah, just leave one day wide open. Because sometimes, we were in Indianapolis and I told my wife, listen, when we get there, this was last week I said on Thursday, I ain't doing jack. I know I'm at a church conference. I'm staying my butt in this hotel. I'm finna get some rest. Why? Because I'm not going to function at my best if I don't have spaces built in for rest. And you need to build those in because people will sap all of the time, every ounce, every second of your day if you allow them to.
That's the
So
key.
you have to build that. That is your responsibility.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have to factor that in.
And healthy marriages need breathing space. So you need that space, you need those margins, you need those times of decompression, those times of we just aren't doing anything. If conversation is about schedules, if every evening is spent catching up on where we are and what we need to do, and it feels so so much like work. And so how do we take the work out of just living our best life? Eventually, your marriage begins surviving instead of flourishing, simply because we are packing it so full of stuff that is not necessary.
And what we have to learn to do is this important thing that you have to learn to do. You have to be okay with telling somebody, hey, look, I'm not going because I just don't want to go. Now, for some of y'all, that's real tough.
It's going to be tough.
For a whole lot of y'all, that's going to be the most challenging thing you've ever experienced, to be able to tell somebody.
It's tough for me.
It's tough for her. It ain't tough for me. I don't want to go. That's the beginning and the end of this conversation.
And I will say the reason why it's tough for me is because I am that kind of friend that believes that I want to do for others what I would want done for me.
I'm glad I found a friend in Jesus. Hey, I mean, now let me sanitize that a little bit, because there are some people that I will, go out of the way for or whatever. But I
Mhm.
mean, if you're just stacking stuff on my plate because I know I'm going to end up angry and frustrated because everybody has sucked all of my time and I have no time to do the basic things that I want to do.
Mhm.
And when that happens to you enough, you figure it out. You like, yeah, you'll figure it out. It just ain't happened to you enough, but I promise you, it will. And you be like, no, I'm not going to that. But why are you not going? Because I don't want to go. I'm doing what I want to do. Well, what are you doing? I'm sitting in my living room and I'm doing what I want to do. You have
Right.
to learn to be okay with that, because if you're not, people are going to burn you out.
I agree. And that has
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. People are going to burn you up and burn you out, and you're going to be the one that's fried, dyed, and laid to the side, crispied up on the
And they're
sidelines.
gonna keep on
They're
moving
gonna
on
keep on.
because they're gonna find the
somebody
next
else.
person to
Yeah,
consume.
they're gonna find the next victim. So you cannot allow that to happen to you personally, and you definitely should not allow it to happen in your marriage, because people will try and burn up the spouse. Let me say this: burn up the spouse by giving them so much stuff to do until they don't have time to build that relationship with each other. That's a dangerous place to be in, and some people will do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Some, I'm telling you, I just, my trust level for folk just ain't what it used to be anymore. And I'm not trying to bring it back, because, folk could be like, hey, you shouldn't, I wouldn't let him, or I wouldn't let her say that to you. I would do this. Negro, you ain't me. I mean, I'm at a point where the things that I treasure, I'm going to protect them valiantly.
Mhm.
Because if I don't, nobody else will.
That's true.
So sometimes the most loving couple can do, the most loving thing you can do as a couple is absolutely teetotally nothing.
What does that look like for you, though?
Nothing looks like, number one, numero uno, putting my phone down.
Mm.
I mean, on the other side of the house down. I mean, forgot where I left it in my garage down. Okay. That's number one. And not planning on picking it back up, and then spending some time doing something that I enjoy. It might be sitting on the porch, it might be taking a drive, it might be watching the sunset, it might be drinking a Kool-Aid stick.
Getting some Sonic drinks.
Getting some Sonic drinks.
Oh,
We make our
we
own
didn't.
Sonic
We
drinks.
didn't. We're not paying them. So
Yeah. Making our own smoothies and all that kind of stuff. Or it might be just doing nothing. Okay, because I'm trying to regain my strength, regain my mental faculties, and in order to accomplish that, it takes rest. Even in your marriage, it takes rest. All right. And couples need to find places to find rest, not because something's wrong, but because something is worth protecting. Didn't I say that earlier? Is worth protecting. If it's worth protecting, then you need to be able to fight valiantly for it. Okay. Point number two: there has to be a safe place. Where is your safe spot? I'm not talking about when a tornado comes physically, but when the tornadoes of life hit you, where's your safe place? Okay.
and that should be your spouse,
It should
not
be.
other random people.
Yeah, and other random people want to take that spot. Trust me.
And get you in trouble.
Yeah. So where is your safe place? And here's something that I think all couples need to think about. When your spouse walks through the door, what do they feel? Do they feel pressure, performance, more expectations, or relief? When your spouse walks through the door, let's flip it. When you walk through the door, what do you
feel?
Do you feel the onset of pressure, or having to perform, or can you let your guard down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So are you creating for your spouse, and is your spouse creating for you that place of safety where the both of you can find rest individually and collectively?
And does your home feel like that? Does your home feel
Right,
like the
right.
safe place that you can come and, whatever happens, whatever happened, through the course of the day, I can lay it down and not have to rehash it and not have to, or even if I do want to rehash it, if I do want to, kind of go through it and figure out what to do next, I have that ability with my spouse to be able to, okay, I don't necessarily need you to solve this problem for me, but I do need to talk it through. Now, as women, most of the time, we already know the answer. We just need to be able to talk through it so that the answer comes clear to us and we can have a few scenarios in which we can fix it in our mind and in our heart. Spouses, husbands tend to like to, like, hey, you need to do this. Well, I don't necessarily need you to fix it. I just need you to be a sounding board so that I can get it together in my mind as to what I'm going to say and how I'm going to deal with this.
So you can process through it.
Yeah. And so I think that's something that we have to be, as we think about a safe space, how do we make sure that our spouse has those clues and we have that language there so that they know when, hey, yes, I do want your advice, or yes, I do want you to solve this problem for me, versus I just need to be able to talk through this. And yes, I'm going to tell you all of the bits and pieces. I'm going to get all animated. I'm going to do all of those things.
And talk with your fingers.
And talk with my fingers.
Almost
because
like
I talk with the hands.
You're going to poke me in
I
the
have
eye.
never,
that's why
I have never poked you in the eye.
You've never poked me in the eye, but that's why I be cheating away like this. I do not like things.
I have never poked
face.
me in the. I have never poked you in the eye.
No, you have not.
Because I have very much control over these hands.
I just don't like things in this area.
Anywho.
So
our marriage should be our safe space, even if my hands are doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
The place where you can finally exhale, the place where you don't have to pretend everything is okay, where your spouse is saying, hey, I've got you. What do you need? How do you need me to support you? How do you need me to help you? All right.
Let me add something to that, though, because you said that in some cases, in some instances, you do want your spouse to fix it. So if you make that statement, then the way your spouse is going to fix it might not be the same way that you're going to fix it.
Yes, but if I get to the point where I want you to fix it, I don't really care how you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
If I get to the point where I ask you to fix it, it means I've already tried to fix it and it didn't work.
So then how do I fix it? As long as
at that point, I don't care.
Okay. We needed some clarification.
At the point when I ask, right, but at the point when I ask you to fix it, I have already tried to fix it and it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it just like from the perspective of opening a jar.
Mm-hmm.
I've already tried to open the jar before I come to you and say
497 times.
I clanked it on the counter.
Fingers are bloodshot red.
I've hit it. I've done all those things. And then when I bring it to you, I expect you just to fix it.
So when I crank it open, then don't say, well, I made it easy for you.
Exactly, because I did.
I could have got it if you gave me one more shot.
Because I already smacked it.
Whatever.
But if I'm bringing it to you, I'm already at my point of, okay, I don't know how to fix this.
Okay.
So I think that's the thing too, is that we can't play around with that. Like if we say, hey, I need your help to fix this, then you already know I've already exhausted my options.
But for most people, they need to understand when you make that statement, then understand help is coming. And
yeah.
So if you
and
invited help in, you can't be mad if help wanted to fix it with a sledgehammer and you just wanted to use a little sissy hammer, right? A little tap hammer. I mean, you can't be mad. When you ask for help, help doesn't have to fix it your way.
I agree.
Otherwise, you need to fix it yourself.
Unless okay. So then I think the only other parameter may be that if I specifically ask you how I want you to help me, then that's a little bit different. So I think those are the things that we have to be clear in our communication about. Mm-hmm. Do I just want a sounding board? And I think I feel like I do a pretty good job of this with our kids, because I will say, do you want mom? Do you want the teacher? Do you want pastor's wife? Do you want minister? Do you want coach? Which person do you want me to answer this question as? because that will be a very different answer depending on who you want.
Mhm.
So I think that's the same thing that happens with our marriage. We have to come into this not setting our spouse up for failure, and we have to ask them and give them parameters as to what we want. Do I want,
Hello.
help, or
Yeah.
do I really want you to solve this problem for me? Point number 3 is stop measuring love by productivity. So we live in a culture that celebrates doing more, buying more, achieving more, producing more, looking at the neighbors and trying to figure out, do we have as much as they have, comparing ourselves to the Joneses or, whoever's next door to you. So often we are trying to get more and more and more and more, when in reality, more is not more.
More is not
Less
better.
is more.
More is not better by any stretch, but society teaches us that, like I say, you go all gas, no brakes. You try and get all you can, and all you get is in the grave.
Well, or
At
in
the end of
debt.
the day, are in debt, are in a jacked up situation in your marriage. All right, so
And marriages aren't strengthened by productivity. They're strengthened by presence. So I don't have to have more.
mhm,
I have to have more time with my spouse.
right, quality time, and
Right.
quality time is not quantitative. In other words, it shouldn't be measured. 2 minutes can be the best 2 minutes of your life if they the right 2 minutes.
Mhm.
I can sure make a joke about that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Please leave that
Oh,
alone.
This is the PG version. I'm gonna leave that. Oh, I could make a joke about that. But anyway,
Oh my gosh.
but
Y'all fill in the blanks. Y'all are grown.
the quality. You need to spend that time together, because 10 years from now, and for us, we've looked back and it's almost 36 years. You know, we don't remember every meeting we attended together. We don't remember every conversation,
Mhm.
but we will remember the time spent with each other, not in the big group thing, but the time spent with each other. Because love shouldn't be measured by what you accomplish, right? That's your career,
Right.
okay? But love should be measured in the pauses of life. Woo! Can you measure time in the pause instead of the productivity stage?
Mhm.
Because in marriage, the pause is where you can breathe, look into each other's eyes, spend quality time together, are actually much more important than your productivity together,
Mhm.
right? So look at it from that standpoint, all right? Because the fact of the matter is that most couples don't protect their peace until they've already lost it. You fight for your marriage when your marriage is on the brink of being destroyed. Now you want to
Mhm.
fight for it, when if you would have just been building it consistently, bit by bit, moment by moment, pause by pause, you probably wouldn't have gotten on the brink of the disaster in the first place. But that takes effort and that takes commitment.
And
You
it
know,
takes
it
intentionality.
takes intentionality, because a whole lot of people just think that this is just going to happen through osmosis. That you put a ring on it, and bam, 40 years later, you just as happy as you were the day that you put the ring on there. I promise you, that's a lie.
Right.
Okay? That's a lie. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not happy. What I am saying is there's going to be some ups and downs, some good days and bad days, because that's called living life. And living life is better than the alternative, in my opinion,
Mhm.
because the only alternative is you dead. Now, if you're
That-
going to see Jesus when you die, that's wonderful. I'm going to see Jesus.
But
I
ain't
just don't
ready-
need to see him.
I don't need to see
Yeah.
him tomorrow.
There you go. Unless he's coming back and cracking the clouds.
Unless
in the
everybody's
sky.
going.
Unless everybody going. Okay. So you got to learn to protect that peace. If you don't, ladies and gentlemen, you will lose it.
Yeah. And so, when we think about that piece, what if we stop asking the question, when will we finally rest? And started asking, what do we need to say no so that our marriage can stay healthy?
That's
What
good.
things do we need to say no to? What things do we need to push back from? What things do we need to, and it may not be things, it may be people.
Just as, yeah.
Okay. So it might not be the stuff, it might be the people. I was having a conversation with someone the other day and she was talking about, oh, going out with her girlfriends and doing this and doing that and doing that. And I said, ma'am, where does your spouse come into this?
Right.
You talking about all this stuff, but everything that you're talking about sounds single to me.
Right.
I know you got a husband and I know you got a kid. Where did your husband fit into this?
Right.
Oh, well, we're good. Are you?
What you think?
Are you, when he's never part of any conversation that you're having?
Yeah, that's a dangerous place to be.
Healthy marriages don't accidentally have that space to breathe and to move. It takes intentional. You've got to create that space, but you also have to create that time so that you know that y'all are on the same page of music.
Right.
Okay. We're talking about having margins. Are we on the same page?
Right.
Are we reading from the same book? Are we doing this thing together?
Yeah. Because some of y'all like comic books and some people like novels. There's a difference between them.
Very much
I
so.
was thinking about when you said that, books have margins so that you can focus. But isn't it interesting, when you were a child, books had bigger pictures to catch your attention.
That's true.
And less words.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because your level of maturity was not at the same as it is now, right? Your attention span was smaller. So when you're young in marriage, can we say this?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need big, pretty pictures of what it can be and less words.
Which is why you need to have models, which
Right.
is why you need to have couples that, older couples or couples that are more seasoned. I won't necessarily say that they have to be older, but couples that are more seasoned in marriage, that can mentor you, that can coach you, that can work alongside you, that can maybe show you the blind spot so that you don't necessarily have to go and fall in that hole, because they can see things that maybe you can't.
I'm glad you said that, because have more mature in their marriage, not necessarily in age, because you can be 60 and be married 5 times.
That part.
Bro, I don't need to hear from you.
Not at all.
I appreciate you. I don't need to hear your testimony. I'm just saying. All right, scripture is Matthew.
Yeah,
I'm just saying 11, 28, 29. Sometimes you have to tell the truth. The problem is we lie to way too many people. Christians lie?
a lot.
A lot. Especially on Jesus. Whoa, Jesus, the most lied on person in the history of the world. Literally.
Stay focused.
Okay.
That's a whole nother ball game.
All right. Matthew 11, 28, 29. The Bible says, come to me, all you that are who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon me and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. You will find rest unto your soul. I think another version says, my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. Right? Jesus never invited people into what?
Constant hurry.
Never. He invited them into rest.
Yeah. I mean, and if you look at the model, again, I go back to Genesis. If you look at the model of what happened, he did all of these things to create the earth and people, and Adam was there, and then he took the bone from Adam and the rib from Adam, and he created Eve, and all the animals and all of the things were created in 6 days. And on the 7th, he said it was good and he rested.
Right.
So there is this piece in which he is inviting us to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some of you are, even when you hear the word rest, it feels uncomfortable because it's not something you're familiar with. We are used to going. But I'm going to invite you to imagine if your homes reflected the same invitation to just rest. This week's love work calls for protecting your peace. Set aside one uninterrupted block of time this week. No agenda, no errands, no work, no phones, just each other, just the two of you. Then ask, what has been draining us lately? Is it we're doing too much? Is it ministry? Is it business? Is it kids? Is it work? What is draining us? What is the thing that is sucking our energy right now?
And what do you need to say no to? So that you can say yes to you too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat that. What do you need to say no to so that you can say yes to you too?
And what brings you peace? You know, I ask women when I do coaching with women, I always ask, what brings you joy? And it's amazing how many people do not know what brings them joy. I would ask, as a couple, what brings you as a couple peace? What brings peace in your home? What brings peace in your marriage? Do you know what that looks like?
Right. And remember, you literally don't have to solve every problem. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give your marriage is simply your presence.
Right? Yeah. And then one of the other things is what helps you feel emotionally rested? How do we know if our mind, body, and spirit are at rest? What rhythm would make our marriage healthier? So is it that we talk about the fact that we wake up and we pray for each other before we get out of bed and before we get functioning? Most days, every now and then, life is life, and then that doesn't happen. But for the most part, we are going to pray for each other before we get going. But what are the rhythms that you need to have in your marriage? Is it that you're having breakfast together? You know, some people have more time. It just depends on what your morning looks like. Are you having breakfast together? Or, you know, maybe one spouse or the other is making coffee or getting juice or, you know, making the bath, or, you know, what does that look like for y'all to have that time or to really build your marriage and to make it healthy?
Right. Because love grows best when your peace is protected. And you got to protect that peace, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have to solve every problem. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give your marriage is simply your presence. One of the healthiest decisions you'll ever make is deciding your marriage deserves those margins. So we are going to end today, and I'm going to start a blessing, and then he's going to kind of end it as we go out of our time today.
Oh, I got these one-liners. I'm going to change the script up some. These one line. The whole conversation in my part is yes, okay. No, I'm just playing.
That is not true. Before we go, we want to speak this blessing over your marriage. May your home become a place where peace lives.
May your home become a place where that's filled with grace, and your conversations filled with grace.
May your home be the place where your peace lives.
May your heart remain soft toward one another.
May you make room for laughter, forgiveness, and rest.
And may God remind you that the strongest marriages aren't built in a hurry. They're built on one intentional moment at a time.
May the Lord strengthen your friendship, deepen your love, and guide your steps as you continue building a marriage that reflects His heart.
And most importantly, until next time, keep building your relationship with faith, fun,
and forever love.
Peace out. Practice making babies.
No babies.
Thank you for watching, and make sure that you join us on YouTube and our webpage, Marriage Encounters with Bill and Michelle at Weebly.com.